Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Jay, aka The Strategy, aka Mama. There goes that man again, aka I'm so disrespectful, aka the man by many names. You're tuning into another episode of the Walking Dead review show on the AGM project. Alright, let's get into it, man. First and foremost, this episode starts off, Daryl is in a room beating up the prisoner guy. I don't remember his name because he's probably not going to be around that long. But Daryl's in a room beating him up. I'm talking about absolutely going to work on him. And he happens to get some information out of him, okay? This is the information he got out of him. A, there's 30 in this group. Men, women, and children. A lot like, Rick's group. Except from they have high-powered guns, artillery. Oh, and by the way, they were out on a scavenging hunt and a pack of men from this group raped 2 teenage girls. Oh, and made their dad watch. Why the fuck would you tell them that? Rick is like, they're in a group and Rick tells them, okay, we gotta kill him. So he's walking off and Daryl runs up to him. Dale runs up to him and was like, you can't be serious, Rick. That sounds like something Shane would do. And he's like, you heard the news. We have to kill this man. He is danger. He is a threat. Okay. And he was like, well, just give me some time. Alright, and Rick says, okay, you have until sunset. If you can convince the group that he shouldn't die, I won't kill him. And Dale like, okay, cool. Dale goes to everyone in the group, and everyone in the group says, I'm sorry. If Rick wants to kill him, I'm with him. Everybody wants this kid to die. Okay. So Dale goes to Shane. He comes to the realization that he's not going to be able to convince the group. So he tries to convince Shane. And him and Shane have a man-to-man talk, and Shane is like, you're wrong. You're wrong. And, the blood's going to be on your hands. And he's like, if you can convince the group that, he doesn't deserve to die, and the group convince it when we come together to talk about it, I won't say a word. Okay? So he couldn't convince anybody. They came together as a group, and he still couldn't convince anybody. But oddly enough, the person who I wouldn't think would have sided with him, Andrea sided with him. Andrea sided with Dale at the thing and was like, I think that we should find another way. She's the only one who sided with him too. The rest of the group was like, no. But before we get into that, let's talk about something else. Carl. For a while, I've kind of been rooting for Carl to die. I actually been rooting for Carl and T-Dog to die. The reason being is they absolutely add nothing to the story. He had a chance to kill a walker, but he didn't, and he just turned into, like, I don't know, to me, Carl, and he's still a child, but I guess growing up in his environment is turning him into a fucking psychopath. He sneaks off and he steals one of he steals a gun. He finds this walker trapped in the woods, and he's throwing pebbles at it, throwing rocks at it. Now, instead of this little dumbass going to get an adult so they can kill this fucking thing, he tries to be badass. He pulls the gun out, and the walker escapes out of this little mud shit. I guess he was sitting in mud, and the mud dried up, kind of like cement, and he can't get out. So instead of him, he woke it up by throwing rocks at it. So he's real up close, and he pulls out his gun that he's stolen, by the way, and he aims it at the walker, and the walker gets a leg out, and they grab him. I instantly remember, I'm in a group, in a room full of people yelling, kill him, kill him. I wanted him to die. Unfortunately, he escapes. He escapes, and he doesn't tell anybody about this incident. He doesn't tell anybody. He just goes back to the farm like nothing happened. Okay. The walker that he didn't kill, that he didn't tell anybody about, is the walker that spoiler alert, kills Dale. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Dale is dead. This episode was, I'm not going to say great, but it was, the end of it was very good. Not a lot happened. Herschel, I finally, it was a scene in here where Herschel talked to Glenn, and this is the only time in this entire series, well, nah, it was a couple of episodes in the very first season, but one of the few times I was like, Glenn, you're not a waste of space. And I actually like Glenn. Herschel sit down, and he was like, you know, Herschel like, where your family from? He's like, Detroit. Before there, they were I think he said Vietnam or Vietnamese, or I forget where he said. And Herschel was like, immigrants built this country, always remember that. And he was like, he showed him a watch, and he was like, my dad, my grandfather came over here with this watch, and he passed it down to my dad, and my dad passed it down to me, and I pawned it in for some booze, and my wife bought it back. And he, in so many words, he gave Glenn the permission to date his daughter. Not only to date his daughter, in my sense, to kind of take the relationship a step further. That was actually kind of cool to see. And like I said, this is one of the very few scenes that I saw Glenn in, and I was like, he is not a waste of space in this completely. Alright. The group voted on killing him. Right as Rick got ready to pull the trigger, guess who walked in? Carl. The little son of a bitch who should have died, and I really wanted him to die in this episode. But Carl walks in, and Rick's pussy's out, and of course he can't kill him in front of Carl, so he changes his mind. You know, Shane is livid because Shane wants this guy dead, and it changes his mind, and you know, they take him away, and they go back to the camp, and and Dale starts screaming, and you know, once again, this is when we find out that he's been attacked by a walker. He didn't actually get bitten by a walker. The walker just ripped his fucking chest open, which in my mind is a little horrible. And you know, they take him out. Okay, that's pretty much the nutshell. It was a lot of things that happened in this episode, but nothing worth. I gave you guys the chunks, my predictions. Okay. My predictions is the prisoner, once again, don't remember his name, he's dangerous. I don't know if he's going to escape or his group is going to find him, but one way or another, it's going to be revealed to the group that he is dangerous. Dale died in here, so I think that that's foreshadowing that he's going to be wrong, because Dale died. I don't know, man. So that's just my opinion on it, man. Thank you guys for watching. This has been your boy Jay, aka the man by many names. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next Sunday. Konnichiwa, bitches.